Welcome to a very sunny Scarborough, a town that exists in its current form today because of water. Yes, the North Sea behind me is a fundamental reason why people come to Scarborough today and have been coming to Scarborough for many, many years. But it wasn't actually seawater that brought people to Scarborough initially. Scarborough grew because of natural spring water. It's quite probable that most people who visit the town, and even some of the locals too, can walk past here and not realise that this is actually the source of Scarborough Spa Water. In fact, it was this reddy, orangey colour that a local lady called Mrs. Farrer noticed when she was in this area in the early 17th century, and it kind of caught her imagination, and so she tried a bit of the water that was trickling out around the rocks around here, and she found out that it wasn't seawater and that it was actually a fresh water supply that was drinkable. Thanks to some clever marketing, courtesy of a book written by a doctor, and word of mouth that spread because the locals claimed the water, which had an acidic pH value, had healing properties, the water became really, really popular, and people visited Scarborough solely for the purpose of trying some of this water. And this is what's left of it today. By the 1960s, the water wasn't drinkable anymore. It wasn't safe for humans to drink, so people stopped drinking it. But it didn't matter by then. The town had already grown into a really successful, thriving seaside resort. People didn't come to Scarborough to take the water, as it was known. They came because of lots of other reasons: the sea, the spa, the hotels, the restaurants, other entertainment in the town. This wasn't relevant in the 1960s. During the 17 and 1800s, Scarborough became known for the healing properties of the water. The town was marketed on it, and people flocked to the town to come and take the water, as it was called. Scarborough developed into the country's first seaside resort because of the water, and it didn't take long for them to start building buildings around this area. In fact, the first building was a wooden building, and it was built in the early 1800s. The water was of course sold, although Scarborough residents were able to take the water for free. Over the years, this site has grown, changed and developed into what it has become today, the Scarborough Spa, with its concert hall, sun court, the cafes, the shops, and the ultra-wide promenade, which was built so that people could enjoy walking along with the views of the seas as well as taking the water. By 1827, the spa footbridge had been built, so access to this part of the town was even easier for people. Instead of having to get them to walk up and down all the hills, they could just walk across from the town to the spa, and it was much easier. As a result, this venue, the Spa, became known as one of the best concert venues anywhere in the country. People flocked here to see all sorts of shows, and eventually its importance to tourism in the town became far more important than the spring water was. In 1845, when the York and North Midland Railway established the link between Scarborough and York, the town became much more accessible for a lot of people. As a result, Scarborough transitioned from the healing waters of the spa into a major entertainment venue and a full-on popular tourist destination. Construction boomed in the area, and as the spa grew in popularity as an entertainment venue, hotels, restaurants and other facilities in the town were built to accommodate all the tourists who were coming into the town. Now, if you've ever been to Scarborough, you cannot get away from the fact that it is a very, very hilly place. In fact, it's built on the top of a cliff, a lot of it, and so that's why in the late 1800s Scarborough became the very first place in the country to get its very own cliff lift, and it's still in operation today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Join me next time for my next video when we'll be exploring this Victorian engineering marvel in a bit more detail.